You will have seen Renuka's review of the new Hyundai Creta where she drove the turbo-petrol variant and she liked it quite a lot. But that was just one of 5 powertrain options you can buy this SUV with. Today I'm driving another engine and gearbox combination, and this one will likely become the most popular one of them all. Now, if you like this video, please do give it a like and let us know in the comments which variant of the Creta you would pick. And as before, be sure to subscribe to the Autocar India channel for great new automotive content every day, and click on the bell to stay notified. Now, let's get right down to driving. I'm driving the Creta diesel manual, and this new Creta is powered by a 1.5 litre diesel engine with 115 horsepower and 250 Newton meters of torque. Now I know what you're thinking, those numbers are less than what you used to get from the old BS4 1.6 litre engine in the old Creta. And you'd be right, but let's just have a look and see what this engine is like to drive. Maybe it's not all that bad. Let's get the numbers out of the way first. We didn't get a chance to do the full Autocar performance test, but in a few quick runs on an empty closed road, it managed 0 to 100 kph in 11.75 seconds. That's about a second slower than the old 1.6, but we suspect in the proper test conditions this new one could get a lot closer. Its in-gear acceleration times of 9.77 seconds from 20 to 80 kph in third and 11.44 seconds for 40 to 100 kph in fourth are respectable for a car of this sort. Similarly, while we didn't get to do a proper fuel efficiency test, the Creta diesel manual's ARAI rating of 21.4 kpl should translate to a good real-world result. Okay, numbers done. What does it actually feel like to drive? First impressions actually are very good. In typical Hyundai fashion, the clutch is light, the gear shift is light, and so getting off the line is a smooth affair. Also in typical Hyundai fashion, this engine is very refined. Okay, there is of course a little bit of diesel murmur, and if you extend it closer to about 4000 RPM, yep, does get a little bit boomy. But keep it under about 3500 RPM and it's not very rattly or clattery. It really is one of the quieter mainstream diesels around. Another thing that's really impressive about this new BS6 diesel engine is that it's very tractable. It pulls from very low down all the way till past 4000 RPM. Okay, it's not as strong as you might have hoped, certainly not as strong as the old 1.6 diesel engine, but it more than makes up for that by being very drivable. For instance here, I'm crossing a speed breaker in second gear, about 1000 RPM, and even with only half throttle, it's pulled very cleanly from not even 1500 RPM. And then at about 2000, it really picks up. It really gets moving past 2000 RPM. But again, it's not a sledgehammer punch, it's more of a gentle surge that just keeps going and going. The real advantage of this, of course, is that the Creta diesel will not only excel out on the highway, but even in the city. You could probably navigate through most city traffic situations without ever having to leave third or fourth gear. So that's the engine and gearbox, but has anything else about the driving experience changed? Now, compared to the turbo-petrol version I've driven earlier, this diesel version appears to be set up a little bit firmer. Now that's often the case with diesel cars to account for the additional weight of the diesel engine, and the result is that the ride does move you about just a little bit more in the cabin than the one in the petrol. But that's not to say it's uncomfortable, it's just that you can feel a little bit more off the road. It's still a very well set up suspension, and it will keep you and your occupants very comfy in the car indeed. While it is light and easy to maneuver in the city, it's still no handler, thanks to a rather lifeless steering and quite a bit of body roll. If you want fun to drive, you're better off with a Seltos. The other difference compared to the turbocharged petrol version is that one exclusively has an all-black interior with a few red accents, and that color really highlights some of the poor, hard, scratchy plastics, especially on the top of the dashboard and on the door pads. Now, don't get me wrong, those plastics are still hard and scratchy, but they're less noticeable here thanks to the lighter shade of plastic. And in fact, the brushed silver accents like on the aircon vents really do wonders to lift the ambience of the cabin, way better than those sporty red accents do. It still doesn't feel quite as rich or plush as a Seltos in here, but it is a little bit of an improvement. Now, while this SXO variant retains the incredible equipment list that includes a panoramic sunroof, cooled front seats, wireless charging, a powered driver's seat and a 10.25-inch touchscreen with connected car features, you do miss out on the driving modes with this manual gearbox. I do like the fact that the alloy wheels have this two-tone diamond cut effect that makes them look a bit more interesting than the ones in the turbo-petrol version. And while we're out here, I guess I should talk about the exterior. Its overall proportions are good, but the details are just all over the place, and I for one don't like the look of it. Everything else we liked about the Creta is back though, like its spacious and comfortable back seat with pillows on the headrest, which is a nice touch, and its spacious and well-shaped 433-litre boot. A fun fact is that this diesel manual Creta is the only one available in every single trim level Hyundai offers, therefore targeting the widest range of customers, with prices starting from 9.99 lakh rupees for the base E-trim all the way up to 15.79 lakh rupees for this top spec SXO. It's aimed at those looking for practicality and the lowest running costs. But the good news is it also delivers a smooth and refined drive, as well as a generous equipment list and an impressive rear seat experience. It's not the most exciting to drive, and those looks are an acquired taste, and I personally haven't acquired it yet. But overall, this is a very versatile mid-size SUV. In fact, the only thing that would make it more versatile would be an automatic gearbox, and hopefully, that's the variant we'll be driving next.